In this video, I play Pokemon Fire Red for 100 days. But what does that even mean? Well, the rule I set is every in-game 20 minutes equals 1 day. This would equate to about 33 hours of in-game time by the end of the run. This was the plan, but something went wrong along the way, which you'll see later on. Anyways, enjoy my first ever Pokemon 100 Days video. I begin by naming myself Box and picking Charmander as my starter. Squirtle is my favorite Kanto starter if you're wondering, but I never used Charmander, so I went with him instead. I name him Sunsmear, I don't know why, don't ask, and I beat up Crate's Squirtle with ease. Sunsmear has the Adamant nature, which boosts attack and lowers special attack. This is both good and bad, as it may help with the Brock fight, but it's gonna make my fire moves weaker down the line. I train up to level 8 and get Oak's parcel from the Pokemart. I deliver the package to Oak and he gives me some Pokeballs and a Pokédex. By the time I arrive at Viridian City once more, it's now day 2, and Charmander is level 9. I watch an old man teach me how to catch a Weedle, specifically a Weedle. This tactic works on literally no other Pokemon. I go to the forest and find a Pikachu right away, literally my first encounter. I capture him and name him Rat. I have no idea how long I intend to use this Pikachu, but for now, welcome to the team, I guess. I spend up till the middle of day 3 grinding Rat up to level 8, and a half, then I challenge Crate on Route 22. Rat absolutely dominates his entire team and levels up to 9. Crate throws a fit and I burn down an entire forest on my way to Pewter City. And I caught a monkey. At the beginning of day 4, I enter the first gym. I beat the gym trainer and Sunsmear levels up to 15. I decide to return to the forest to level him up one more time to get the evolution. With a Charmeleon in tow, we take on Brock. First up is his Geodude. I use Metal Claw, hoping for the attack boost. I don't get it and he defense curls. I finish Geodude with another Metal Claw, and since I didn't get the boost this time either, I switch to Rat to use Growl to lower Onyx's attack. I throw in some Tail Whips to lower its defense to help deal more damage later, and the Onyx actually gets static paralyzed, so that's nice too. Rat gets taken out by a Rock Tomb, but at this point there's nothing he can do. His Onyx has been weakened so much that there's literally no way he can beat Sunsmear, and I write that confidently before sending Sunsmear out to battle. One Metal Claw nearly takes it out. Incredible. I finish off Brock's Onyx and get the first badge. Day 5 is about to begin as we continue our journey. We get the running shoes and take out the trainers on Route 3. I also train Rat a bit in this time. Day 6 I don't buy the Magikarp because I don't want to. Bite me. I do however catch a Jigglypuff and name her Terror, for reasons. Then I spend some time training up Terror. I get her up to level 9 where she learns Pound, then I continue on into Mount Moon. Nothing too eventful happens, but I do bully a Team Rocket a bit. I defeat a scientist and take the Dome fossil, better than the Helix fossil. Outside the cave, I teach Jigglypuff Mega Punch. It's now day 10 and I decide to do a little training before challenging my rival at the bridge. The battle begins and he throws out his Pidgeotto, while I start with Pikachu. His Pidgeotto evolved one level earlier, I guess, but whatever. I paralyze the bird and he lowers my accuracy. He takes Rat out after I land one Thundershock, and next up is Sunsmear, who takes care of Pidgeotto with 2 Embers. Next he sends out Squirtle, so I switch into Terror. I go for a Sing, and miraculously, it lands. Now time to spam Mega Punches. Eventually Terror takes it out, and with Squirtle gone, as is his team's entire threat level, Terror wipes through the Abra and Sunsmear finishes his Rattata. He runs off, throwing a fit again, as I then heal up and head north to the bridge. I bully every trainer on the bridge, then, and this is a neat trick, I take the monkey from earlier out of the PC and put everything else in the PC. Then, I battle the Rocket Grunt at the end of the bridge and he beats my monkey. But, you fight him again and again until you win, and every time you fight him, he gives you a nugget, which if you don't know, sells for $5,000. So, I rob the Grunt of 30 nuggets before beating him one time. I catch an Oddish for the second gym and name her Audium. I train Audium on the trainers of the route for a bit and then head into the gym and fight the gym trainers. Oddish ends up on level 20 and I use a rare candy to level her up one more time before the gym to get that sweet Gloom evolution. I challenge Misty and the fight begins. I lead with Rat and use 3 double teams. He hits himself in confusion once but breaks out and takes Staryu down. She sends out Starmie and I leave Rat in for that +3 evasion. Forgetting about Swift. Whatever. Onyx wanders onto the field next, and she puts Starmie to sleep and starts absorbing. Misty uses a super potion when Starmie gets low, and I successfully predict the sleep's end, putting her back to sleep right away. She wakes up a couple turns later, but it's too late. Onyx finished Starmie, winning us the second badge. I beat up the Team Rocket Grunt that committed several devious counts of loitering, and steal his Dig TM. Next, I catch a Meowth because why not? I grab the secret rare candy that you may not have known about, so you're welcome. I skip all trainers on the route except for the one that you can't. Don't worry, I'll come back for them later. I teach secret power to Terror, and also use the Moonstone to evolve her. Next, I train James the Meowth until he learns Payday. I might want this later on if the Nuggets aren't enough money down the line, which they won't be. For now though, James isn't an official member of the team, but rather sitting in the back using pickup. I fight a Dugtrio in Diglett Cave on my second encounter. I was going to catch a Diglett, but Terror accidentally killed it. I try to catch it, and after about 10 Pokeballs, I get it. Welcome to the team, Whack-A-Mole. Fun fact, I ran into another Dugtrio that was even stronger 2 encounters later on my way out. With Whack-A-Mole, Lieutenant Surge will be a breeze, so next I head aboard the SSN and bully some trainers to get some grinding done faster. I battle with Crate on my way to speak to the captain of the ship. I wanted to file a complaint about my food, but I guess I'll beat up this kid first. Terra begins rolling out on Pidgeotto and takes it out, as well as the Raticate that came out next, though the Raticate looks a little... who cares. The rest of his team is a breeze, and he throws another fit once again. I go to the captain about my food, but it looks like he's also had some trouble with the food on the ship. He gives me the HM for cut, which I teach to James. I put Whack-A-Mole up front and slice the tree in front of the gym. And this is the end of the video. I spent the rest of the 100 days looking through the trash and never found the button. I'm kidding. I avoid the skippable trainers and go straight for Surge. I use Dig on Voltorb and Pikachu, one-shotting both of them. Pikachu static paralyzed Whack-A-Mole, but I gave him a Cherry Berry before the battle and he was cured. I slap Raichu with a Sand Tube, knowing he'll go for multiple double teams. After that, a couple Mud Slaps finish the job and get us our 3rd badge. I teach Shockwave to Rat and move on. I run through Diglett Cave to grab the Flash HM from Oak's assistants. I also grab the Old Amber from Pewter City. I teach Sunsneer Aerial Ace, pick up another rare candy you may not have known about, and then trudge through Rock Tunnel. Once in Lavender Town, I immediately leave for Celadon. Once in Celadon, I throw James in the PC to get the free Eevee. I evolve it into Vaporeon and teach it the Water Pulse TM. I named the Eevee Waper, by the way. Waper's time will come soon, but for now, I challenge the next gym. This time I fight all the trainers, getting Sunsmear more experience. I take Erica down with little difficulty, and I teach Giga Drain to Audium. I also use 2 PP ups that James found earlier. I grab the Fly HM for later, buy some drugs for Waper, heal up, then rush Team Rocket's hideout. I reach Giovanni, steal his nest and netballs before having Waper and Terror bully him. I take the Silph and head for Pokemon Tower. I find Crate mourning some rat in the tower or something. I don't really know, or care. I beat him just as easy as ever, and move on to the tower. But first I teach Wigglytuff Return. Then level up Pikachu to 26 where he learns Thunderbolt. Then I evolve him and return to the tower. I catch a Cubone, which I planned on replacing Whack-A-Mole with. I name him Orphan, and for now he sits in the box. I begin looking for more Cubones to use Thief on with Meow. I want to get a Thick Club, which doubles Cubone and Marowak's attack stats when held. I also grind special attack EVs on the Ghastly in the tower. It takes about 27 Cubones before I get a Thick Club, but I did. I do some more EV training though, since I have a few Pokemon that will benefit from a high special attack stat. While grinding Sunsmear, he evolves into a beastly Charizard. I finish dealing with the tower and grab the Pokeflute. Then I evolve Gloom and drug up Cubone. I run back to the Rock Tunnel and teach Cubone Rock Slide. I decide to go the cycling roadway to get to Fuchsia City. All the poison types should help train my Orphan. While beating up all the fighting and poison types used by the bikers, Cubone actually evolves. I make it to Fuchsia and head to the Safari Zone to grab the Surf HM. I sweep through the gym trainers mostly using Orphan, then I begin my battle with Koga. He starts with coughing and I start with Charizard. Flamethrower one-shots and he switches to Muck. The Muck minimizes and also doubles its defense stat, but after taking care of his potions, I take it out. I switch back to Charizard for the second coughing, and the third verse same as the first I suppose. Then he sends out his Wheezing, and I leave Sunsmear on the field. He crits and poisons with the sludge, but I live and take it out the next turn, winning us the 5th badge. I take Route 15 back to Lavender Town, getting some training on the way, and then head to Silphco to take on Team Rocket. After defeating a large number of Rocket grunts, I then face off again with Crate, who's starting to show signs of getting decent team building skills. He starts with his fully evolved Pidgeot, and I send in Rat. I start with Thunderwave and he uses Feather Dance. Next I begin my Thunderbolt Assault. I just barely don't take him out in one hit, but it's no big deal. Next up is Growlithe, so I send out Waper. One Surf is enough to take it out, and next up is Exeggutor. Now it's Sunsmear's turn. And wow, one Flamethrower did the job, who knew? In response to Charizard being sent out, he sends out his Blastoise. But Audium comes out to take charge. After 2 Giga Drains and a Poison Powder, Blastoise goes down. Next up is Alakazam, and I decided to let Terror take this one down. He goes to set up a Future Sight, but I don't think he likes the future he saw, which was a critical hit Hyper Beam. And with that, we take down Crate once more. I send Audium to take out the last grunt before heading in to face Giovanni. As a power move, I lead with Terror, whose return does heavy damage to his Nidorino. Next, he sends out Nidoqueen, probably his strongest Pokemon at this point, but that doesn't matter because Orphan goes into a blind rage, remembering what Team Rocket did to his mother, and wipes out the rest of his team with ease. I grab the Master Ball and head out for the next gym badge. But before I head to the next gym, I take a look at my team. It's strong, and better yet, it's a combo of Pokemon that are my favorites and some that are, less used in these games. But then there's Raichu, Vaporeon, and Charizard. There's something missing though. I want something cooler. Something that gives raw power to the team. I remember back to the beginning of my journey, and how I said I was unsure of how long I planned on keeping Raichu. And so, I head to the power plant in search of a new electric-type Pokemon to take his spot. Yeah, that'll have to do, I guess. I spend some time spamming Payday to get some new toys for my pet birds. I also get Shadow Ball for Terror. With my grinding done, for now, I'm ready to move on to Sabrina's gym. I used mostly Audium and Waper on the gym trainers in an attempt to level them up, and also increase their special attack EVs. I begin my fight with Sabrina, leading with Waper. I use a Bite plus Quick Attack combo to take care of her Kadabra that started setting up Calm Mind. Then her Mrs. Mime does the same thing, but it takes a bit longer to take out. Next she sends out Venomoth, which Sunsmear smears on the pavement. Next is her ace in the hole, Alakazam. To fight this, I use my secret weapon, Terror. It's my first time trying this, but I use Shadow Ball on the Spoon Man, and it almost one-shots. Knowing she's gonna heal, I decide to see how much Hyper Beam does, and this one is a one-shot. Terror has begun living up to her name, and we win our 6th badge. Next I have to go to Cinnabar Island, so I return home and say hi to my mom before surfing south. I fight the trainers with Audium and Raiden on the way there. I make a stop partway through to grind money for a second so I can buy a Charcoal and Miracle Seed for Charizard and Vileplume. I head into the Cinnabar Mansion to get the secret key to the gym. I also use this as a training opportunity for Terror. This is effective as by the end of the mansion, Terror is tied with Orphan as my 2nd highest level on the team. However, we just caught Zapdos at level 50, so does that really count as my highest level? Anyways, I put Waper in front and slaughter the gym trainers. Blaine hardly puts up a fight if I'm honest. His first 3 get one-tapped by Waper, and I send in Orphan against his Arcanine to prove a point, I guess. We both miss our first attacks, but the second time around Arcanine isn't so lucky, and with that, we win our 7th badge. I decide to skip the Sevi Island stuff for now and head to the Viridian City Gym for the 8th badge. And seeing as Team Rocket owns this gym, we have a little orphan that wants to take revenge. So I dedicate myself to only using Marowak for the final gym. If you guys cannot tell, I am very much so picking favorites for this video. Aside from leaving to get more Bone Meringue PP, it's easy for Orphan to take out every gym trainer single-handedly. As I stand before Giovanni, Orphan is level 48 and ready for battle. First up is Rhyhorn, who goes down to a single Bone Meringue. Dugtrio suffers the same fate, and who am I kidding? Giovanni got really easily swept. One hit is all it took from Orphan to wipe out his entire team. With Giovanni, I get the TM for Earthquake, making Marowak even more of a force of nature. Before heading to Victory Road, I used the item finder to steal Giovanni's Macho Brace, and 2 leftovers from where both Snorlaxes resided. I give the leftovers to Terror and Raiden, and use the Macho Brace and Lavender Tower to get even more special attack EVs on everything that's not Terror and Orphan. Before that, however, let me tell you something. Initially, the 100 days were meant to take place within a 33 in-game hour time span, going by a 20-minute equals 1 day rule. However, I've been using a speed up button for grinding, and generally just to make battles go faster. This is all fine and good, and normally I'd still use the in-game time for this. I'm used to using Open Emulator to emulate Pokemon, whose speed up button goes about 2 times faster. For this, I'm using Virtual Boy Advanced, whose speed up button can range up to crazy speeds like 15 times faster. I don't know about you guys, but my hands cannot move that fast. So to make up for it, I'm giving myself up to 40 in-game hours to finish the 100 days. With that out of the way, time to grind, I guess. And when I return from grinding, we now face Crate one last time before heading to Victory Road. Raiden bullies Pidgeot. Audium dances on Rhyhorn's grave. Alakazam gets terrorized. Growlithe gets a bath. Sunsmear scrambles some seed eggs. And Audium proceeds to Fortnite dance at Blastoise until it too falls. With Crate pushed aside like an actual chump, we head on into Victory Road. We emerge the other side of Victory Road with my team ready for the Elite Four. I spent a decent bit of time building these movesets for these Pokemon throughout the run. Alongside all the EV training, I don't think we'll have much trouble at all. 38.5 hours of playtime. I challenge the Elite Four. Fair warning, I forgot to press record for the Lorelei fight, I believe, so you're probably going to be seeing a completely different fight throughout this. I step up to Lorelei, who sends out Dugong. My plan here is to use Sunny Day after it uses Hail. This banks on my being slower, and I did 0 calculations for this, so... Oh cool, it used Ice Beam, not Hail. That works too, I guess. Now let's see if a Solar Beam can one-shot Dugong. Oh, yeah it does.
And having seen how this has gone from the second fight to the first fight, and how I recorded the audio for the first fight, we're just gonna jump straight to Bruno.
And hey, at this point I finally realized I wasn't recording the fight. With Elite Four number 1 down, we can move on to the one we don't talk about. Onyx goes down fast, and he sends out Hitmonchan. I switch to Orphan, who has high defense and even higher attack. Go! Earthquake, my favorite child! He one-shots both Hitmon, and nearly takes out Machamp too. I switch to Sunsmear to finish it off with Overheat. Then, Audium takes care of the last Onyx. Agatha is the trainer I believe will put up the biggest fight for me in this entire journey, so let's see how this goes. Her Gengar goes for a double team and dodges my Shadow Ball, exactly as expected thanks to my impeccable luck stat IRL, being like -5 or something, I don't know. The next one hits and does a little over half its health. Terror hits herself in confusion next turn, and the turn after, but takes the Gengar out after that. Raiden takes out her Golbat, Orphan deals with Arbok, Waper eats her Haunter, and deals a nice damaging bite to her final Gengar. Terror comes back out, and after spamming Shadow Balls through Agatha's potions, manages to take out the Gengar. Finally, we come to Lance. I lead with Raiden against his Gyarados, and I take it out in 1 hit. Next is Aerodactyl, which I managed to take out in 1 Thunder. Next, I send in Charizard to Dragon Claw the first Dragonair, as well as the second one. Dragonite puts up a really good fight, bringing me down to just Charizard. Though that's mostly from me just being reckless, to be honest. I win, and I heal my team to face Crate one last time. Pidgeot takes heavy damage from Zapdos, but then pivots into Rhydon. I take it out with Audium, then switch to Terror to fight his Alakazam. I Shadow Ball, then Toxic, since he used Reflect to boost his physical defense. I send out Audium to stall a turn since he took out Terror, but then he full restores. In turn, I max revive Terror as he sets up a Future Sight and takes out Charizard. Terror finishes off Alakazam with a Hyper Beam straight from hell, and Charizard takes out Exeggutor. Then, I leave Sunsmear in against Blastoise, so I can revive Raiden once more. He takes a Hydro Pump and falls. Raiden paralyzes Blastoise with Thunder, which is great because he was faster than me and would have taken me out next turn. Pidgeot comes back in and gets healed, but since Zapdos leveled up in the fight with Blastoise, this time we take it out. Finally, Waper gives one more puppy a bath, ending the battle. Our team is immortalized in the Hall of Fame, and we completed our journey of Pokemon Fire Red in 100 days. I had so much fun recording this and making the team throughout this, and if you guys want to see more of this save file, I'll be playing through the post-game on my main channel, Box Deity, so go subscribe if you want to see that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.